Let me thank all of the people who are with us today on an issue of huge consequence. And this is an issue, by the way, that doesn't just touch these workers. It endangers every worker in America who has been promised a pension. So let me begin by thanking Marcy Kaptur, Tim Ryan, John Murphy, and other political leaders who are here. Robert Roach, who is with the International Association of Machinists. And I also want to thank Frank Bryant for joining us to share his personal story of how these proposed pension cuts will impact retirees. More than 40 years ago, the federal government made a solemn commitment to the workers of this country. If a retiree is promised a certain pension benefit after a lifetime of hard work, a company could not renege on that promise. That commitment 40 years ago was exactly the right thing to do. When someone works for their entire life, gives up pay raises, gives up health care benefits in order to make sure that they will have a secure retirement, it is absolutely unacceptable to pull the rug out from underneath that worker. This is not a negotiation over wage increases. Sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't. This is not a negotiation over health care benefits. This is a promise made to workers and paid for by workers that simply cannot be nullified if people are to have any faith in our system. But last year, behind closed doors, a provision was slipped into a must-pass spending bill that now makes it legal to cut the pension benefits of about 1.5 million workers and retirees in troubled multi-employer pension plans. As a result, retirees all over this country are waking up to the unacceptable reality that the promises made to them could be broken, and that the pension benefits they are receiving today may soon be cut by 30, 40, or even 65%. This is incomprehensible. What this means is that retirees who are currently receiving a pension benefit of $18,000 a year, paid for by a lifetime of hard work, are in danger of seeing that benefit cut by up to $3,800, or a 21% cut. Retirees who are currently receiving a pension benefit of $36,000 a year could see their pension benefits cut by up to $21,000, a 60% cut. In other words, tens of thousands of retirees all across our country who are in the middle class today, who have worked their entire life to be in the middle class, their dreams of a happy and secure retirement could be replaced by poverty and insecurity if we do not act, and we are determined to act. Today, we send a very clear message to the Republican leadership and to the President of the United States. When a promise is made to the working people of this country with respect to their pensions, to respect to the idea that people have a right to live their retirement years with dignity and not in poverty, those promises have got to be kept. So today, what we are saying is that we are going to revisit that legislation which allowed for the cuts to those benefits. And we are also going to say that if Congress can bail out Wall Street and foreign banks throughout the world, you know what? We're going to stand up and protect these people who have worked their entire lives for a secure retirement. The legislation that I'm introducing today with Marcy Kaptur and Tim Ryan and others in the House and Senators Sherrod Brown and Tammy Baldwin in the Senate would prevent the retirement benefits of about 1.5 million workers and retirees from being cut by repealing the anti-pension rider in last year's appropriation bill. What we are doing is establishing an emergency fund within the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation to make sure that multi-employer pension plans can continue to provide every pension benefit owed to every eligible American for decades to come. And it is fully paid for by closing 2 tax loopholes that allow the wealthiest Americans in this country to avoid paying their fair share of estate taxes and gift taxes. So, bottom line here is that when people work their entire lives for a secure retirement and promises were made to those workers by their employers and by the federal government, we have got to keep those promises, and all of us here are going to work hard to make sure that those promises, in fact, are kept.